2006 Survivor Series on Jayfabe Wrestling. Let me just run down the card real quick. So they had Team WWE Legends, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Ron Simmons, and Sergeant Slaughter with Arn Anderson defeat the Spirit Squad with Mitch. And then we got Chris Benoit defeating Chavo Guerrero to retain the U.S. Championship. We got Mickie James defeating Lita to win the Women's Championship. We got Team DX, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, CM Punk, Jeff Hardy, and Matt Hardy versus Team Rated RKO. You got Edge, Randy, Gregory Helms, Johnny Nitro, and Mike Knox. Then we got a First Blood match, Mr. Kennedy versus The Undertaker. Then we got Team Cena, John Cena, Bobby Lashley, Kane, RVD, and Sabu versus Team Big Show. We got Big Show, Finlay, MVP, Tess, and Umaga. And for the World Heavyweight Championship, we got Batista defeating King Booker. So yeah, this wasn't really a good card. I mean, the only cool moment was, looking at Team DX and the ovation CM Punk got. But aside from that, this card wasn't that good. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna try to rebook this, and you know what? I wanted to try and keep the Raw vs SmackDown team, but obviously there's an ECW here, so it's gonna be Raw vs SmackDown versus ECW, and yeah, just trying to get a little creative and do something different. So let me know what you guys think. Let's run down the card right now. All right, so the first match for the Cruiserweight Championship, we got SmackDown's Gregory Helms versus Raw's Super Crazy versus ECW's Little Guido, a.k.a. Nunzio. So, yeah, I didn't really know why Super Crazy... They moved Super Crazy from SmackDown to Raw. I didn't really know why, but, he's like Raw's only Cruiserweight, so that makes sense. And Nunzio, a.k.a. Little Guido, he was an ECW... He's in ECW, so that makes sense. I'd actually give the win to Little Guido, a.k.a. Nunzio, and I'd have the other guy in the FBI, was it Tony Mama Luke, help Little Guido win. And Little Guido can defend, the title at December to Dismember, so it kind of gives ECW, another match on that card. Then we got the Women's Championship match, Mickie James versus Jillian versus Shelly Martinez, a.k.a. I believe Ariel. So, yeah, you kind of got, a lot of different characters here. You kind of got, Mickie James could say, she could get psycho too, like Ariel. And obviously Jillian Hall, she'd be jealous of Mickie James and, her talent, and says, she's the best. I don't know if she's doing the singing gimmick this time, but I believe she was a solid worker as well. So I give Mickie James a win. I know in reality, Lita was the women's champion, but I just have Mickie James defeat Lita at Cyber Sunday. So Mickie James gets the win, and she retains. So right now, it's ECW 1, Raw 1, SmackDown 0. But that's about to change as we get into the battle of the tag teams. So we got the World Tag Team Champions, the World's Greatest Tag Team versus Paul London and Brian Kendrick, the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, versus ECW's the Basham Brothers. I looked on the roster; they were on that on the roster. So, and aside from like the FBI. There's not much other tag teams there, so I think the Bashams can, they can say like they're also former, tag team champions. So it kind of gives like, we got three tag teams that all, reach the top of the division. So it'll be a good match. I'd actually give Paul London and Brian Kendrick the win. They were super hot in 2006, and yeah, I think this would actually be a really, really good match. Got a lot of good workers here. And now the score is 1 Raw, 1 ECW, 1 SmackDown. Now we got Battle of the Mid-Card Champions. So we got Jeff Hardy, the Intercontinental Champion, versus Mr. Kennedy. So I'd have him be the U.S. Champion. I'd have him, defeat Bobby Lashley for it. And they would have like a tournament here to see who will represent ECW and become the ECW television champion just for one night only. And it's CM Punk. So CM Punk will be representing ECW here. So we got Jeff Hardy versus Mr. Kennedy versus CM Punk. Wow, you got 3 rising stars here. Then actually give the win to CM Punk. This crowd was in Philly. He was super over. You kind of get a taste of Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk a little early as well. You could have CM Punk hit the go to sleep on Kennedy and get the win. So now the score is 1 Raw, 1 SmackDown, 2 ECW. And then we get, the mid-card Survivor Series tag team match. We got Carlito, Chris Masters, Ric Flair, Johnny Nitro, and Kenny Dykstra versus Chris Benoit, Chavo, Guerrero, Matt Hardy, MVP, and William Regal from SmackDown versus Ballz, Mahoney, Kevin Thorn, Elijah Burke, Stevie Richards, and Hardcore Holly from ECW. So when you look at this, Carlito and Chris Masters, they got issues. They're a former team. And obviously, you got, the veteran Ric Flair, and you got 2 rising heels, Kenny Dykstra and Johnny Nitro. On the SmackDown side, we got Benoit and Chavo. They had their issues. MVP also debuted, and you also got Matt Hardy in there. And then from Team ECW, you got Ballz, Mahoney is the captain, but the rest of the team, Kevin Thorn and Elijah Burke, they're new breed. And also Steven Richards, he's an original too. So you got 2 originals, 2 new breeds. Then Hardcore Holly, who's, he's kind of indifferent because he's not a young guy, but he's not an ECW original. So, they could play off that tension too. Like, where's he going to lean towards? And, yeah, I think this would be a good match. I'd actually give the win to Team Raw. I'd have, Carlito and maybe Johnny Nitro be the sole survivors. Johnny Nitro and Carlito, they were kind of getting pushed at this time, so I think it only makes sense. I'd actually have, Chavo cost Benoit a match at the end, so that kind of continues their rivalry. And now the score is 1 SmackDown, 2 ECW, 2 Raw, so SmackDown kind of needs a win here. And next match, Battle of the Main Champions. Yes, we got John Cena versus Batista versus Rob Van Dam. So yes, I'd have RVD defeat Big Show, to regain his ECW champion. Wasn't a fan of, Big Show representing ECW. So you got, 3 pretty over faces here. Obviously Cena and Batista, again, in my fantasy world, they got history from last year's Survivor Series. RVD also has history with Cena, one night stand. Cena kind of wants to get redemption for that. So Cena's got something to prove against RVD, and Batista got something to prove against John Cena. So, and I'd actually have Batista get the win. I'd have him powerbomb RVD on top of, John Cena, and then pin RVD. So kind of keeps Cena protected, but Batista also kind of gets his win back. And he also evens the score for SmackDown. So the score now is 2 ECW, 2 Raw, 2 SmackDown. Now we're at the main event. We got Team Raw, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, Edge, and Umaga versus Team SmackDown. We got The Undertaker, Bobby Lashley, King Booker, Finley, and the Great Big Red Machine, Kane. And then we got Team ECW. We got Sabu, The Big Show, Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, and Mike Knox. So yeah, guys, we got obviously Team Raw, DX and Rated RKO. They had, they're in a feud, so there's a bit of tension there. Team SmackDown, Bobby Lashley, he kind of has tension with, the Royal Court. And of course, you got the Brothers of Destruction on there, as well as King Booker and Finley. So you got a couple of tag teams in there. And Team ECW, you know, Sabu, Big Show, you know, they got history from SummerSlam. And obviously, you know, 2 originals, Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, and 1 new breed, Mike Knox. So, also wanted to mention that I did not move Bobby Lashley from SmackDown and ECW. To me, that just doesn't make any sense. Lashley was getting super over on SmackDown, so yeah, you got to keep that. And who would I have win? This is tough, but I think I'll give it to Team SmackDown. And the final 3, which is going to be shocking to you guys, but it's going to be 3, you know, not really established talents. So we got from Raw, Umaga. From SmackDown, Bobby Lashley, and from ECW, Sabu. So, you know, just giving, you know, a couple of these newer guys a shine. And I'd actually have SmackDown win. Have Umaga eliminate Sabu with the Samoan spike. And I'd have Bobby Lashley eliminate Umaga with the spear. So Bobby Lashley gets the win and kind of starts the big Bobby Lashley push. I would have it more in SmackDown. I wouldn't have him in ECW. So yeah, guys, that is my card. SmackDown wins 3, while Raw and ECW has 2 apiece. And let me run down my card right now. So we got the Cruiserweight Championship match. SmackDown's Gregory Helms versus Raw Super Crazy versus ECW's Little Guido. And we got the Women's Championship match. We got Raw's Mickie James versus SmackDown's Jillian Hall versus ECW's Shelly Martinez, a.k.a. Ariel. Then we got the World's Greatest Tag Team from Raw versus Paul London and Brian Kendrick from SmackDown versus the Basham Brothers from ECW. Then we got the Intercontinental Champion from Raw, Jeff Hardy, versus the United States Champion from SmackDown, Mr. Kennedy, versus the ECW Television Champion, CM Punk. And then we got the Team Raw mid-card. You got Carlito, Chris Masters, Ric Flair, Johnny Nitro, and Kenny Dykstra. And then on SmackDown, you got Chris Benoit, Chavo Guerrero, Matt Hardy, MVP, and William Regal. And on ECW, you got Ballz Mahoney, Kevin Thorn, Elijah Burke, Stevie Richards, and Hardcore Holly. And we got the Battle of the World Champions, the WWE Champion John Cena from Raw versus the World Heavyweight Champion Batista from SmackDown versus the ECW Champion Rob Van Dam from ECW. And then we got the main event. We got Team Raw, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, Edge, and Umaga versus Team SmackDown, The Undertaker, Bobby Lashley, King Booker, Finlay, and Kane versus Team ECW, Sabu, The Big Show, Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, and Mike Knox. So yeah, guys, that is my card. Let me know what you guys think about the WWE Raw versus SmackDown versus ECW concept. And appreciate the support. Like, comment, subscribe for more videos. Peace.